Hey everybody, welcome back to Spark to Art. This is Mike, and today I'm going to be showing you a fun little way to satisfy that need to communicate with someone if you have no one to communicate with but yourself. And so I'll be showing you how to do a cloning video. You may have seen an example of this on my personal channel. If you haven't, you have no idea what I'm talking about, I'll link that in the description as well. But for this, I'm not going to be using that video. I'm not going to be breaking that down. I made a whole new one just for this segment. It's about a minute long. And we're going to go from there. What's great about this method I'm going to show you with Filmora Pro is that all you really need, most importantly, is just a camera, a tripod, and yourself. It's very cheap to do, and I'll explain why in just a second. So here's 5 things that you need to do this method. Number 1 being the video editing software, Filmora Pro. I'm using version 8.1. You can get a year license for $40. I got the lifetime license for $60, and that you don't have to pay anything beyond that point for updates, things like that. It's all inclusive. The pricing options may have changed since I originally purchased the software, so I'll put a link in the description for their website as well. Number 2 would be a camera. I'm using a Nikon D5300. Anything that'll mount onto a tripod should work. You could actually use a phone. In fact, I've done this with a phone before, so just keep that in mind, something to record it with. Number 3, a tripod. As I've mentioned probably a few times now, the tripod, this is the most important part of this method because there are ways to do this with green screens where the alignment isn't as important. For this, we're using a tripod. The reason it's so important is because we're going to be recording 2 separate videos. You got somebody on one side, somebody on the other, and in order for them to blend together properly using this method, the camera cannot move an inch. Like, nothing can move in the camera in between those recordings. So that is very important to keep in mind. Number 4, we're going to be using a separate recording device specifically for the audio. Not for the audio of the video, it's more so for you to be able to hear what you had said while recording the first video. So the second video, you'll be listening to what you said before, so you know when your cues are to come in and things like that. And number 5, finally, a static scene. By that I mean the environment in which you're recording these videos in. The more simple it is, the less movement there is, the more convincing it'll be in the end. Because, for example, right now I've got like a curtain behind me. Say I'm recording this half over here. If the curtain moves on this half and not on this side, you can tell where that division line is a little bit more easily. So now that we've gotten an overview of everything that you need and what we'll be doing, let's go ahead and take a look at the example. What's going on here? Can I come in? Huh? Oh, I have to work with this guy again? What? Are you serious? What do you mean? Dude, it's just like every time I have to work with you, you're always such a kiss up. Like, I mean, I worked really hard to get this position. There you go. There you go again. Yak. I'm so perfect. Mr. Perfect over here. What do you know what? You need a hug. No. Don't even. Okay, dude. You want a hug? There's like this thing, right? This. Yeah. There's this bubble. Okay. Personal space. Okay. First of all. And you just don't cross this line. Yeah, okay? I think I'm just gonna go. I don't think. You want to get food? Huh? You want to get food? Food? Oh yeah, sure. We'll go with shoes. Okay. Okay, so what you just saw was the finalized video. All we're gonna do now is essentially break it down. By breaking it down, I mean separating the 2 clips by going back to the originals. We're going to put them into Filmora, show you the really quick process of separating the videos and making that blend happen. And then I'm going to explain how the character types kind of work. So, what we're going to do, I'm going to shrink down the screen to the corner here so you can see me working on Filmora. So first, let's go ahead and upload our 2 separate videos here. So we got video 1, video 2. We're going to put those in, wait for it to load. Excellent. So what we're going to do, we're going to start off by putting the dominant character, the first video, on our background image, or our background video slot here. So the way Filmora works is there's the first video slot here, this will be your background video, and then any other videos, because you can have multiple video tracks, they're all going to be considered PIPs, and PIP stands for picture-in-picture. Really what that means is when we put the second video in here, we could either right-click, apply to PIP, or literally just drag it to the PIP slot ourselves. So we put those two in there. This PIP is really just it's called picture-in-picture because it's masking over, it's overlaying the background video. So what the issue that causes is, sure, you created the two videos, it's great, but then if we go farther in, all we can see now is the subordinate character, the second character that we made. He is he's overlapping the background video. If we go here, he is the only person we see. So where the magic happens is we're going to go in to, so we're going to right click, go to advanced edit, and this brings up our masking options. These are just different shapes, don't worry about them. The white is basically just the PIP itself is what it's displaying. So we're going to double click on that. We'll skip halfway through so we can kind of see what's happening here. We're going to make it so that only 50% of the PIP video is showing over the top of the background. You can kind of see it disappearing there. Good scene. So we can see the background video now, and we have a weird placement because we're showing 50% of it, but it's right in the middle. So if we go over to this slot here, we can move around what section of the PIP is visible. Move it over here, block everything off, but if we move over to the right, boom, we now have both characters visible, and that's it. I mean, we're just basically telling it to allow 50% of the PIP to be shown, and specifically move it to the right side of that clip that's being shown. Hit OK, and now we've got them both here. Now, aside from video, audio is also very important. No, I didn't use any special audio equipment to record this scene here, but what I mean by that is the audio may not match up with the video unless you are very careful in the beginning of it to hit record on your phone for the audio and hit record on the camera at the exact same time. This is most important for the second character because, as we see right here, what he'll do is the dominant character, the first person, will hit record on their phone, and they're going to record their whole scene ahead of time, obviously, with the phone, so that later on, when the second character here is doing his scene, he's going to play back that audio from his phone and hear everything the dominant character was saying, and that's when he gets his cues and knows exactly when to chime in and how to make the conversation seem real. So the dominant character on the left is creating the conversation, or he's creating half of it, but the most important part is the person responding, because they're the one that makes it feel real by responding to specifically what the first person is saying. And so that's really where the magic happens. And again, the whole thing, like the video itself that you saw, a minute long, the whole process only took about 30 minutes, and that's including putting it in, testing it, and making sure that the audio works and everything. So let's go ahead and play a little scene from it. I did not render it right here. If you push this render button, it might take a while, so I'm not going to do it right now. But let's see if this works.
You need a hug. No, don't even. Okay, dude, hugs. There's like this thing, right? This. Yeah.
So it works. The audio matched up. It looks like they're kind of conversing with each other, and that's the behind the scenes. So if you like the video, make sure to give us a thumbs up, and if you want to stay tuned for future videos, make sure you subscribe. Thanks for watching. See you guys next time.